So my kid brother got married 12 years ago this year. Being non-religious, they got married and had their reception at a tithe barn at a country house. Thinking for something different for their wedding present, my dad decided that instead of getting several wedding cars for them, he'd hire one car to take them from the venue to their hotel, and as a surprise hire a helicopter to take the bride and her dad from my parents' place where she was getting ready, her family is from down south, to the venue. Then, after the ceremony, the newlywed, her immediate family and ours would each get a 10-minute flight. So we set out locating for a helicopter hire. We find this one company, they survey my parents' place to make sure they can get in and out. We have a 6-acre field adjoining their garden/our driveway, and do the same at the venue, confirm all is okay, and my dad signs the contract and pays the 50% deposit. 3 weeks before the wedding they ring back and decide that they can't actually get the helicopter into either the venue or our field and would be canceling the hire and would be refunding the deposit when they do their next invoice pay run at the end of the month. Cue my old man losing his shit and by the end of the day getting their money back. What followed was a mad scramble to find another helicopter firm, which in rural Lancashire aren't exactly to be found on every street corner. After a fraught couple of days we find another firm who are more than happy with getting in and out at both places, are cheaper and more relaxed than the initial firm. When we told them why we were bouqueting it last minute, they told us that we weren't the first that they'd heard of being let down by that firm. Here's where the petty and honestly unintentional revenge comes in. Back then I was a frequent contributor to a car forum I'll call Mark's Car Nerd Forum, which is how my wife referred to it. Not a massive one, at most I think we had about 70 members, but it was ours. One guy sorted out setup and we each bunged him $5 a year to admin it. There were half a dozen subforums where we'd chat about motor shows, new car launches, F1, etc. And one invite-only VIP area. Anyway, out of frustration, I posted on the open pages about how pissed off and stressed we had been over the whole thing, with a post title of, "Beelzebub's Heli Tours are a bunch of absolute cunts." Nothing I wrote was untrue. I just laid out the facts of what they did and the stress it put us through a couple of weeks before the wedding. Of course the guys all chimed in support about how shitty we'd been treated until someone pointed out that we, as a forum, had paid for Google ranking boost and that if someone searched for a particular thing, say Lamborghini Gallardo, then our forum would be on Google page 1 because one of us had posted about it. So everyone changed their post to start with a version of, "What's that? Beelzebub's Heli Tours are a bunch of absolute cunts." Within a day, if you searched Beelzebub's Heli Tours on Google, one of the top results on page 1 was a link titled, "Beelzebub's Heli Tours are a bunch of absolute cunts." Eventually, one of the directors of said firm emailed the forum admin demanding the post was removed as it was damaging his firm's reputation. Dave, the admin, told him that unless he could provide irrefutable proof that my version of events was in any way incorrect, then the post would be staying up. This was followed by various threats of legal action, to which Dave responded by locking the post with the message, "Beelzebub's Heli Tours have threatened to sue Mark's Car Nerd Forum to remove this post. We have repeatedly asked them provide evidence that this version of events is in any way untrue, which they have failed to do so. Until such time that they do, this post will remain up as a true account of how our member was treated by them." Edit. Jesus. I didn't expect to get this attention. Than you for all the upvotes. To answer a few recurring questions/points. Rich people problems, I know it seems that way, but the only reason we have properties large enough to have a 6-acre field is because 3 families/households, parents, me and wife, brother, pitched together to buy the plot and old barns back in 2002. As for the cost of the helicopter hire, it cost my dad and less to hire the helicopter and an executive taxi, around £1,100 in total, to take our kid and his wife to their hotel than it did for him to pay for the 2 classic Daimler limousines for my wedding 11 years before. Calling my brother my little brother, or our kid. He's only 2 years younger than me, but he's 6'2" to my, relatively, short arse 5'9½". Hey, that extra half inch is important. He's also nowhere near as broad or strong as me. So referring to him as my little brother is reminder that he's the younger and smaller. Also, it's very common where I come from to call your sibling our kid. Hell, my dad and was calling his younger brother our kid when he'd come visit him in the weeks leading up to his passing at 74. Gee. They gave you 3 weeks notice, that's plenty of time. Anyone saying that has never planned a wedding or larger event. 3 weeks before a wedding is no time at all. especially for services which are bouqueted months in advance. I bouqueted my wedding cars a year before my date. We bouqueted the helicopter 6 months before the date. Had it been cars we bouqueted, we probably would have been shit out of luck to get replacements in that time frame at peak wedding season. As it was, we got lucky as the replacement firm had not long added another bird to their fleet and they had space available. Plus, it's still relatively rare to bouquet a helicopter for a wedding. Back then it was really rare. People have said they must have had a reason to cancel. They did. The reason is they were cunts. The reason given did not add up. The second firm had the same risk assessments carried out and approved and flight plans for the same flights using the same model of aircraft, filed in a couple of days. There were no safety problems at the venue. They hold an annual hot air balloon rally, and if you've got space to launch a bunch of those contraptions, you've got room to launch a squadron of helicopters, and none at our place, according to CAA. That's the UK equivalent of the FAA. Our field is big enough to take 40 helicopters. Plus, the surrounding area is clear for at least half a mile in all directions except for directly towards the houses/barns. You can't boost Google results. Apparently not. But if you run your own business or website, you'll get at least one email/cold call/mail shot a week from firms claiming to be able to do just that with things like search engine optimization. If you don't know better, you may well be taken in by it. We, as the forum contributors, must have been, as we paid a couple of £100 out the subs to try and get more members, as we started it with just a couple of dozen of us. Also, I've been told that Google wouldn't update to show our shitposting about them as quick as within a couple of days. What can I say? It was 12 years ago, so that timeline might be a bit fuzzy. You made this up / it didn't happen. What can I say other than it did? If I was going to make this up, it would have been rather more dramatic, with last-minute saves like only confirming the helicopter that morning and more severe consequences like the firm going bust, etc. You deliberately tried to destroy that firm. I didn't. I had a rant to a bunch of mates and it just rolled from there. They are still trading today. Nothing shows up when search Google. Do you really think there's a helicopter hire firm called Beelzebub's Helitours? Comment by user. Since it has been a few moons since this occurred, we're going to need to know the answers to a few follow-up questions. Were there any repercussions for Beelzebub's unprofessional Helitours? Did the firm stop sending threats to Dave? Reply by original poster. I don't know if it had any impact short-term. They are still trading as they are a flight school as well. When you Google their name now, our post no longer shows up. Eventually the emails stopped as Dave just kept copy and pasting his same response. He never mentioned receiving anything other than the emails from the same guy. Comment by user. I love how they were planning to delay the refund. Reply by original poster. To be honest, I've seen it so often in small/medium businesses over the last 25 years I've had one. It's just how we work, or it's how our system is set up, or our accountant only works 2 days a week, or as they tried, we only do pay runs once a month. It's a way to keep their bank balance looking healthier for business credit scoring. Comment by user. This plan reminds me of an episode of The Cosby Show, when Theo and his friends decided that they wanted to take their prom dates on a helicopter ride before the prom. It completely ruined their hair for the dance and ruined their night. I don't know why anyone would think a helicopter would be a good idea to take the bride to the wedding after getting ready. Reply by original poster. Helicopter lands, shuts of engine, rotor stop spinning, pilot gets out, escorts bride and father to helicopter, buckles them in, closes doors, gets in, closes his door, starts engine and rotors, flies to venue. Lands at venue, shuts down engine and rotors, gets bride and father out. No one's hair gets messed up. Comment by user. What the hell is a tithe barn? You have to give the Lord 10% of your hay. Reply by original poster. Pretty much. Usually the local lord or church. Comment by user. My only thought. Helicopter ride after getting ready? Reply by original poster. Helicopter lands, pilot shuts off engine, rotor stops spinning, pilot gets out, escorts bride and father to helicopter, buckles them in, closes doors, gets in, closes his door, starts engine and rotors, flies to venue. Lands at venue, shuts down engine and rotors, gets bride and father out. No one's hair gets messed up. Comment by user. People bitching about rich people problems, but I wasn't aware that this sub is for poor people only. Reply by original poster. I know, right? Like I pointed out in another response, it was a bit of a first world problem and probably there was a bit of willy waving on my dad Ant's part, but the helicopter and one car for a one-way trip was cheaper than what he paid for my two classic Daimler limousines 11 years earlier. Comment by user. What does paid for Google ranking boost mean? I work in marketing/SEO and have never heard this term. Reply by original poster. Really? In the last 20-odd years I've had hundreds of emails, cold calls, even snail mail from companies offering to boost my firm's Google ranking or get my firm on page 1 of Google's results. Comment by user. Bad service aside, I gotta say a helicopter ride to my wedding would not have been a present I would have appreciated as a bride. I just paid like several grand for my outfit and hair, and you want me to put on headphones and have the wind from the blades tear apart my hair before the ceremony and photos? Reply by original poster. The rotors are stopped before people are allowed to approach most civilian helicopters. The headphones bit I can understand, but pilot set them up so as the band was above the top of her head. Comment by user. Wouldn't a helicopter ride mess up the bride's hair, makeup, and dress? Reply by original poster. Helicopter lands, pilot shuts off engine, rotors stop spinning, pilot gets out, escorts bride and father to helicopter, buckles them in, closes doors, gets in, closes his door, starts engine and rotors, flies to venue. Lands at venue, shuts down engine and rotors, gets bride and father out. No one's hair gets messed up as she won't be near the outside of the helicopter when the rotors are turning. Only potential hiccup would be the headphones, which apparently the pilot got around by adjusting the band so as it was above her hair. Dress won't get any more messed up than in your typical car. Probably less since the rear seat in the helicopter is more of a flat bench seat than in a car. Not sure why her makeup would be messed up? Comment by user. Hey, if it makes you feel better. The mom, a family member, of one of our flower girls, canceled exactly 6 days before our wedding and then proceeded to ghost everyone. Reply by original poster. Ouch. Comment by user. A little off topic, but I can't get over a 70-member online forum having an invite-only VIP area. Reply by original poster. Why? It was our forum. A previous forum that we posted on that was affiliated to a magazine closed, so a bunch of us started another one. The VIP bit was for the original say 24 members to talk shit about others and to arrange meet UPS etc. Comment by user. 3 weeks isn't even that bad of notice. Why were you even mad about that? Reply by original poster. Not arranged a wedding, have you? 3 weeks before a wedding for any wedding service is a big deal. Add in something that's a fairly rare service and it's a bigger deal. Had it been a pair of wedding cars, then we wouldn't have been able to get replacements in that timescale. Comment by user. I call BS on this story. No such thing as Google ranking boost. Also, checked out his other posts and clearly it doesn't add up. Reply by original poster. Tell me why it doesn't add up based on my posts. If you're in any type of business, you get plenty of phone calls, emails from businesses telling you they'll get you on page 1 of Google etc. 99% of the time they are just telling you how to use keywords etc. Comment by user. BS story. They canceled 3 weeks before and not at the last minute. What was the need for revenge? Reply by original poster. Not been married, have you? 3 weeks before a wedding for any wedding service is a big deal. Add in something that's a fairly rare service and it's a bigger deal. Had it been a pair of wedding cars, then we wouldn't have been able to get replacements in that timescale. The revenge was unplanned. It just started off as me having a vent to friends. Comment by user. Love this level of pettiness. Reply by original poster. It wasn't even planned. It just started as me having a rant to friends. It just kind of escalated. Comment by user. They had the reception at a titty barn? Reply by original poster. LOL. Comment by user. Google it. Nothing comes up but this post. Reply by original poster. End. Comment by user. Is canceling 3 weeks out bad? That seems like enough notice for you to find other arrangements. Reply by original poster. Considering the original was bouqueted 6 months prior, canceling at 3 weeks' notice certainly was. Take the whole helicopter thing out of it and think of it in terms of wedding cars in the middle of wedding season. Wouldn't canceling a set of wedding cars 3 weeks out from the wedding be bad? Comment by user. We, as a forum, had paid for Google ranking boost. There is no such thing. Also, Google would not rank a bad word like that in the normal search results. I don't believe this story. Reply by original poster. As I have now been made aware. We paid for what we thought was a legitimate thing, but turns out to be one of those half scams of people knowing more about things than you do and sell you their knowledge of something that, if you are in the industry, is common knowledge. Comment by user. So you assisted in ruining a business because they canceled on you 3 weeks in advance with a somewhat reasonable reason? You're a rich cunt. Reply by original poster. Nothing was ruined, they still trade. They canceled for no real reason, having approved everything beforehand. And I'm not rich by any means, although I can be a bit of a cunt. Comment by user. I love the fact that this post is on the first page of Google results when searching Beelzebub's Helitours. Reply by original poster. I can't believe people think there'd actually be a helicopter rental place called Beelzebub's Helitours. Comment by user. LOL. That sounds like a piston heads thing to do. Reply by original poster. Not piston heads, but we certainly scraped a lot of their stuff. Comment by user. Who's still mad 12 years later, I'm sure they forgot all about it, face with tears of joy. Reply by original poster. The whole thing happened 12 years ago, I just thought the story fit the sub. Comment by user. When rich people whine, no one cares. Reply by original poster. Not rich old bean. Comment by user. Helicopter ride to the venue. Was the bride's hair spackled in place or something? Reply by original poster. You do know helicopters have these thing called doors? Comment by user. So they legit cancel and you and your dad Karen up. You're what's wrong with this situation. Reply by original poster. Comprehension not your strong point, is it? Comment by user. You ruined someone's business because they gave you ample notice of the cancellation and fully refunded you? What's there to get revenge on? Reply by original poster. I'm guessing you didn't read the whole thing, your comprehension skills suck, you've never been married, planned a wedding or other large event, or a combination of the above. Dumbass. Comment by user. Some people have way too much money and time on their hands, lol. Sorry you had to go with another helicopter ride on your 6-acre fucking property or whatever. Must be so stressful, disappointed face, while 3 million people from their country depend on food banks to survive. Reply by original poster. Dude, chill. It was 12 years ago. On a property that was bought 10 years before that 3 families pooled their funds together for. Take the helicopter and the field out of it and replace them with a pink limo bouquet to pick the bride up from her FIL's mid-terrace house that gets cancelled 3 weeks before her wedding. Same shitty service, same stress at the height of wedding season, with a family beginning to stress about the wedding plans. Comment by user. The company felt it was unsafe and obviously did not want to be liable. That's their prerogative, they gave the money back. Helicopter. To ferry the bride. To a wedding. First world problems. Was there no other mode of conveyance for the bride to arrive at the ceremony? Sounds like an inconvenience to me. Reply by original poster. They didn't feel it was unsafe when they took the bouqueting, the deposit, did the risk assessment at both the venue and our place. God forbid that a father should do something nice and unusual for his son and DIL-to-be. Comment by user. The story screams, we're rich and entitled. Get over yourselves. They gave you 3 weeks notice. That more than enough notice. You're only expected to give 2 when you quit a job. The fact it's a wedding is irrelevant to the helicopter company. They are a business, not your friend. They owe you nothing. Reply by original poster. You wouldn't know rich if it jumped up and bit you on the ass. Yes, they are a business, which is why they should have honored the contract they agreed. Once they signed that contract, they owed us the services agreed upon. I'll bet dollars for donuts you're writing these comments from your college dorm, paid for entirely by your parents' largesse, whilst pretending they're not rich, upper middle class themselves. Comment by user. Why do you call him kid brother instead of just brother? Is it the same concept as having a child bride? Reply by original poster. Because he's my younger brother? I'm 49 and there's only 2 years between us. but where I'm from it's common to refer to your sibling as our kid. I've called him that pretty much as long as I can remember. Comment by user. Helicopter company decides for various safety reasons that you and your father have no idea about. It's not good for them to land in and out of your venues and decide to cancel and give you a full refund. You and your father throw a temper tantrum and fight back LMAO. Reply by original poster. Fuck my life, your comprehension skills suck. They carried out a risk assessment at both mine/my parents' place and the venue 6 months before and pronounced all good. How am I certain that it was safe? The venue advertise it as suitable for helicopters and even have an annual hot air balloon rally launch from their grounds. How am I certain that our place is safe? 3 times since we bought it we've had the air ambulance land in the field, as there's a blind bend that's an accident black spot close by and our field is one of the few in the area that isn't actively farmed. 3 weeks before a wedding is no time at all to arrange alternatives. We got fortunate with the replacement. Fucking cockwomble. Comment by user. Oh no, you had trouble booking a helicopter for a wedding? And you got your deposit back? Give me a break. Get on with your life. Reply by original poster. I genuinely hope that should you find someone unfortunate enough to want to marry you, your wedding planning goes off without a hitch. Pro tip, it won't. Comment by user. Yeah, your title is very misleading. I'm going to take the side of the helicopter company and call you out as being an ass. If they thought it was dangerous to land a helicopter at both sites, then they were doing this for your safety and the safety of everyone in the vicinity. They did this 3 weeks out from the event, refunded the money when you asked. Just because some other company agreed to fly in and out of the sites doesn't mean it was safe. Harassing them after the fact and calling them cunts is just an entitled asshole move. You are the cunt. Reply by original poster. Fuck my life, your comprehension skills suck. They carried out a risk assessment at both mine/my parents' place and the venue 6 months before and pronounced all good. How am I certain that it was safe? The venue advertise it as suitable for helicopters and even have an annual hot air balloon rally launch from their grounds. How am I certain that our place is safe? 3 times since we bought it we've had the air ambulance land in the field, as there's a blind bend that's an accident black spot close by and our field is one of the few in the area that isn't actively farmed. 3 weeks before a wedding is no time at all to arrange alternatives. We got fortunate with the replacement. Fucking cockwomble. Comment by user. Kid brother? More sense to say younger brother? Or did he marry when he was a child? Reply by original poster. He's 47. I'm 49. I've called him my kid brother for as long as I can remember. It's common where I'm from to refer to your sibling as our kid. Comment by user. Bro, just because there's ample room to land doesn't mean there aren't other restrictions such as local council restrictions or airspace restrictions. There might not be any risks in the immediate areas they assessed, but when they went to pull permits and submit flight plans, they found out that they weren't allowed to by the aerospace controller or local legislature. These dudes didn't cancel last minute. 3 weeks is plenty of time. If it were something that would take a lot of effort like a big-ass cake or custom clothing, that's one thing. Plus, you never said how long between when you bouqueted and when they canceled. But you and your dad just sound a bit entitled. Reply by original poster. Fuck my life. They carried out a risk assessment at both mine/my parents' place and the venue 6 months before and pronounced all good. How am I certain that it was safe? The venue advertise it as suitable for helicopters and even have an annual hot air balloon rally launch from their grounds. How am I certain that our place is safe? 3 times since we bought it we've had the air ambulance land in the field, as there's a blind bend that's an accident black spot close by and our field is one of the few in the area that isn't actively farmed. 3 weeks before a wedding is no time at all to arrange alternatives. We got fortunate with the replacement. Fucking cockwomble. Please leave your story in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to get new update. Thank you.